On the eve of tomorrow's Super Bowl, the New England Patriots have released wide receiver Tiquan Underwood. Now, the team says the unusual move was purely a football decision and not for disciplinary reasons. Underwood played in 5 games, catching 3 passes. Moments after his release, Underwood tweeted, quote, "Took the high road. Nice to see. Good luck to the New England organization, the coaches, and all my teammates. Hashtag."
Alright, man, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kev, and you're now tuned in to the Hey Not Podcast, conversation with a bunch of nobodies, episode 5. Let's introduce ourselves. Go ahead, you introduce yourself, boss.
Okay, Tiquan Underwood. Appreciate y'all having me.
Jennings Lewis. Happy Saturday, beloved.
Juan G, happy Cinco de Mayo. And listen, last episode I spoke about Kanye West and how he's not important in life. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make Kanye great again. If you wanna get this hat, come to Fame NYC 174th in Amsterdam. We gotta make Kanye great again because he is tripping right now. I mean, Angel Dust, it gotta be something.
And as you can see, we have a bell. Hey Now, Fame NYC bell, and of course, this bell is for the one and only Gabby. Hopefully, we can keep him in check with the bell.
Listen, the only way you keep me in check is when you write the check. You dig?
Guess that ain't happening. But
So,
all right, man. So
it's not happening. I still love my boy though.
all right, man. So like we always do, man.
Introduce
On the
yourself.
show.
We just did that.
No, but like his accolades.
We get into it.
We can go get into it right now.
Let me ring it from one time. Let me ring it. I ring it for myself sometimes because I know I gotta shut the fuck up.
Kid is special, bro. Special.
Go ahead, Kyle, my bad.
All right, so as everybody know, man, the show is really dedicated to people that, how would I say it, are inspiring, and have a journey, and been through certain situations in life that I could have folded them, but they always find a way. And I think T. Underwood's story is one of them. You know, especially not being heavily recruited, you know, still being a big factor with Rutgers, you know, during the time when they had that run, to your pro career. So let's just get into it, man. Enough of me, man. Let's just tell me first off, you know, how you got into playing football, you know, and also, you know, from Jersey. So yeah, how you got into it?
Man, I started playing when I was about 7 years old, playing Pop Warner. My uncle signed me up. He played football, and he was pretty good at it, and that was his way out. So he wanted to introduce it to us, and it just took off from there, man.
So not basketball, like what, 6'5"? So not
I mean, growing up, everybody thought they was a basketball star. You know what I'm saying? That was my first love, of course.
Okay.
So you ball though. So if we could do 5-on-5, you ready to go 5-on-5?
It's been a while, but I mean, it's like riding a bike.
Okay.
You don't forget. All right.
That's a good thing.
No doubt. But I definitely thought I was going to be an NBA guy growing up, as most of my friends. But you got to hit reality. It's only 5 guys on the court. 2 of them are guards. Growing up, now it's 3. Football, it's 11 guys on the field. So
It's a better chance, more opportunity. I feel you.
Exactly. So
Makes
I
sense.
played the odds and roll with it.
You was never scared about injuries and Young. I know Young. No, But as you got older, did you worry a little more about like how hard you get hit?
Honestly, man, when you playing, you just playing for the love of the game and you having fun. Injury's not even on your mind until it happens. So whether I was young or old, it never was a thought for me.
I got a question, actually, surprisingly bouncing off of what Gabby said. Now, was your parents? I know you said your uncle, but was your parents a little hesitant, like to have you play like football? You know, since it's contact and everything at such a young age.
It really wasn't an issue, especially the era that we all came up in. Concussions weren't a big thing, you know what I mean? So it was a different time. Whereas now, technology is so good and you know so much about concussions that they're not really letting young kids play. Like, it's something parents are thinking about. But if I don't have a son right now, I got 2 daughters, but I'm going to try one more time. Shout out to my man Drew. If I get that boy, I can't say that I'm not going to let him play. I think I would let him play because I learned so much from football. You know what I'm saying? Just responsibility, teamwork, you know what I mean? Working with people you may not like or agree with, but y'all got to come together for a common goal.
That's a big one right there.
But if he didn't want to play, you wouldn't care either.
Nah, I wouldn't force it on him. Nah, not at all.
But you want him to, though?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
That's a father's dream, though, to do what you dreamed of doing.
For sure, for sure.
So now, let me ask you. So now, you went to Notre Dame, right? High school.
Yep.
So how was that playing out there?
Did you play with anybody that went professional besides yourself?
Yeah, well, at Notre Dame, it was a Catholic school, and the funny story about that, I was coming from public school, so I was leaving on my friends, and
Tough transition?
absolutely, I'm driving to the school for orientation. I tell my uncle I don't even want to go. He like, well, hell, I could turn the car around right now, and you could save me some money, because he looked at it like, okay, I spend a little bit for high school, but college, I'll go for free. And his plan worked, man. I'm glad he made that decision for me. Going to that school, it was majority white. I wasn't used to that, but that's the real world that we live in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that really set me up for life after ball.
I'll be done with that. Now, so now you was only recruited by 3 schools. Even though you put the work in Notre Dame, how did that make you feel? Like, did that motivate you, to like
Mentally.
to like?
I'm just trying to add to your question.
Like, did it change you as a player as far as like wanting you like to work harder, to like really go out there and get it? Did that start a fire?
That was big time motivation, but the fire was already started. You know what I mean? I grew up, I wasn't the biggest kid, so, you know what I mean? People always like, oh, you too small, you skinny. And playing AAU basketball, my AAU coach, big time basketball guy, MSU Skyliners in Jersey, it was like, you play football? I'm like, yeah, like that's my main sport. He's like, well, you should switch to basketball. Like, you kind of small to play football. You know what I mean? So that really stuck with me since I was a kid. And then once I got to Rutgers and was doing my numbers, I seen him again. And he was like, man, you made the right decision. You know what I'm saying? That was everything for me. But like you said, to not be recruited by a lot of schools, especially the big time schools that you would like to go to, but shit, you only need one. You know what I mean? You only need one.
I only need one to believe in you.
Kev had mentioned 3. What were the 3 schools that recruited you?
Really recruited me, it was Rutgers, Maryland, Vanderbilt, Hofstra had a squad back then. So it wasn't many at all, man. It wasn't many.
What made you choose Rutgers as a school?
He hit it right on the head, man. I wanted to stay home, and Rutgers had not been a good team at that point. You know what I mean? They really haven't done much, so I'm like, man, I can stay at the crib and really help build something, instead of join something that's already made.
Yeah. Okay,
Alright.
I respect that.
So I was talking to you before like you started shooting. So you was at Rutgers. Actually, I had two friends that went to Rutgers. You know, Courtney Green and Ray Rice. We played at actually AU ball for like 2 years. So how was that experience? Because not only them, you had the twins as well. So you had like a lot of pros on that team. So how was that? You know, like how was practice? You know, like
Man,
competitive.
Absolutely. It was competitive every day, man. Like you said, you're going against pros. You know what I'm saying? On both sides of the ball. So it was a battle every day. And before even football, we all signed to go there just because the group, man. It was a good fit. You know what I mean? Like you said, Courtney, Ray, McCourty twins. Everybody was just cool people. And you could feel that. And we had a special group, man. That class, even though Ray left early.
That class
for
was
the league,
special. Yeah,
you know
that
what I
class
mean?
was special.
You had a squad though.
Yeah, we definitely had a good run. It was dope.
How was it playing for Coach G?
Shiano, man. Tough.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
Now we
Because you also
juicy
because
stuff.
when you played with the Buccaneers, was he the coach? Oh yeah. So that's interesting, man. So yeah, how was that?
Man, I did a total of 6 years with Coach Shiano, and anybody that knows him would say like that's impressive. You know what I mean? Coach is tough. You know what I'm saying? He's really tough. Whether it was college or the league, that's just who he is. But one thing I can say is that I learned a lot from him. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 kids now, and I find myself saying a lot of things that he used to say to us. You know what I mean? So I get what he was doing. Like he was molding us from boys into men. And I appreciate him for that.
So at first it wasn't, you really wasn't seeing what he was trying to do.
Right. Because you a young boy and you just trying to ball. You know what I mean? But he was trying to teach us life lessons because it was bigger than football.
Right. Jennings, I know you had some questions
So
regarding his time.
you spent some time with the Patriots. I'm a Massachusetts native. Proud, but
Racist.
leaving. No, let him speak his piece.
Nah, go ahead. I don't want to speak because you speaking.
Okay,
But they racist as shit in Boston.
you're right. So leaving Boston and coming to New York,
Thank God for editing.
race dynamics really kind of slapped me in the face. What do I mean when I say that? Coming to New York, I never saw so many black people in my life, like congregating. You see more black people in high-ranking positions. Growing up in Boston, it's the only flavor is like Dorchester, Roxbury. You see little pockets in other places outside of the main city, but being somebody from the tri-state area, what was that transition like for you when you had to come be a Patriot, probably staying somewhere in Middleborough or Foxborough? What was that like for you as a black man?
Very different as far as living. I stayed in Foxborough with Devin McCourty.
Okay.
And then he moved to Attleboro, so I spent some time in Attleboro.
Okay.
So, like you said, it's very different from New Jersey or New York. You know what I mean?
How did people treat you? Were you profiled? Do they automatically assume that you're up to something because maybe you're driving in a expensive car? Do people follow you in stores? And be honest.
For me, it's a little different because of the hair. So I would actually get profiled, but it would be the opposite. Because they know who I was, I would get love.
Okay.
Like, I tell anybody, like, Boston is a great sports
No, it's a great sports
town. You know what I'm saying? So I got love. I caught 3 balls from Tom Brady. That's it. Three balls. Like, I didn't play a lot, but people know me because of the hair, the Super Bowl thing, you know what I'm saying? I got hella love out there, so I didn't see a lot of that that you saw growing up, which was cool because I heard about it, but I didn't see it myself.
You didn't experience it.
So you said you caught 3 balls from Brady. How was it playing with arguably the greatest quarterback of all time?
How's his work ethic?
I'm gonna answer yours, then go to the work ethic. Man, that experience was crazy. Like, first of all, signing there was like unreal. You know what I'm saying? Because the run they're having is ridiculous. So I'm in a meeting, team meeting, Bill Belichick up there, Then we break offense, defense. I'm like, yo, this is the first time where I was like kind of starstruck. Like, yo, that's Brady. Like, that's the man right there. But to get on his work ethic, man, I've never met anybody that works like him, whether it's at the facility or at his house.
Okay.
And he just demands excellence from everybody. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter first string, second string, third string. When you get in there, you better know what to do because he demands it. And y'all see that. You know what I'm saying?
So, outside of practice, did you have to spend a lot of time in film, studying your playbook? If you didn't know what you were doing when you got on the field, what would happen?
That's not even an option.
It's not an option.
Up there, it's not even an option.
Because
like it's you have to know. You have to know. Like it's not even an option. And then build a type. We had a snowstorm one time, and you know most jobs you could call out sick or the weather's bad. You could be late. So we got a 9 a.m. team meeting. Aaron Hernandez was late. He was late to the meeting.
Okay.
Bill sent him home. You late. Go home.
So
you just gave me the alley.
No, wait. Can I?
Okay, go ahead.
Because he mentioned Aaron Hernandez. Like, I liked him. You know, when he was in the U and all that, man. I mean, when he was in Florida. When you played with him, like, how was he? Like, did he seem like he was like troubled? You know, like, or was he like cool? You know, like how
did you think he was a murderer? Did he think you said that he was a murderer?
Damn, man, I was
straight to it.
Jeez.
Honestly, man,
Was he cool?
As a person, bruh, I rocked with him. Our lockers weren't because the tight ends were kind of close to the receivers, so we saw each other a lot of the time. He was cool, man. Down to earth, cool, hard worker, and one thing I can say is super competitive. Like super competitive, bro.
Was he good?
He was
nice.
I seen him line up at tight end, receiver, running back. Like our offensive coordinator Billy O'Brien, like he was like, yo, we gotta get this boy the ball. You know what I'm saying? He was a dog, man. And I respected him on and off the field. You know what I mean? Some things that came out after the fact when I had left there that was kind of, all I can say is that I never saw that side of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for the memories we did have on and off the field. Like, he showed nothing but love to me. Even as far as I was putting in extra work one day and he came out there, I was throwing with the boy that they say deflated the ball.
Yeah.
I think his name was JJ.
That they
Real
say?
cool dude.
Yeah.
They say. Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't know.
I like how you say it. I like that. My man ain't no switch, man. My man.
But JJ was solid, man. He was helping me one day, and Hernandez came out there and saw us, and they call him Chico. Chico went to coach and was like, "Yo, coach, Ty was putting in that work. Like, I wasn't a starter at the time. You know what I mean? We had Wes Welker, Edelman, Ocho Cinco, Deion Branch. Then you got Gronk and Chico.
Yeah.
So he showed love, man. Just telling Coach that, like, standing up for me, letting him know, like, yo, he about his grind.
Yeah.
I respected him for that, like, big time.
Okay.
How you felt when you found out, you know, that he committed?
He called a body about a week ago.
Bell.
No, that wasn't it. How did you?
That was a good flow, though.
No,
it wasn't, though. But I've been trying to go with it. It was good.
So like, how did you feel when you heard the news, man, that he committed suicide?
That was tough, man. Just to see, because he was in the beginning of his career, man. He didn't even hit his peak yet. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
He just got the bag.
Oh, no doubt. So, like, family was good. Like you said, he got the bread. And he didn't really get to show his full talent, man, just because of everything that happened. I just wanted to see that career. I wanted to see it to its end. Kind of like Sean Taylor, like that situation, man. Everybody wanted to see the rest of that
Sean
career.
Taylor.
You know what I mean? those two talented guys, man. It just sucks that it went down the way it did for those guys.
And there's a baseball player that played for Miami that he was nice and he died in a boat accident. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Damn.
He died in a boat accident and he was nice. And
A baseball?
a
Yeah,
baseball
Jose
player.
Fernandez.
last
Jose
year.
Jose
It was
Fernandez.
last year, right?
Yeah, last year.
They had coke in his system, though.
But we ain't gonna say, we ain't gonna do that too much.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I don't know about, he ain't have none of that. He's Spanish, he good. All my minorities, we good out here. All that extra shit, fuck Donald Trump.
So you just gave me a great segue.
Thank you.
I see you.
We fucking vibe, man.
So Gabby mentioned Donald Trump. Robert Kraft is known to be a strong comrade
Right.
of Donald Trump.
That's facts.
So if you were in the league right now,
Mm-hmm.
well, I have a bunch of questions for you about that. How would you have handled knowing your owner basically is a supporter of Donald Trump? We did hear rumors of Brady having the "Make America Great Again" hat in his locker.
Yeah.
How would you have handled those dynamics
I mean, that's
as a black man?
yeah. I mean, you come to America,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, for free speech, to
Mhm.
be able to think the way you want to think, say
Okay.
what you want to say.
Mhm.
So, as far as Mr. Kraft and Brady, I would have respected it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Not agree.
I'm not saying I agree with that,
Mhm.
but you know what I mean. Yeah, it is
They
what it
could
is.
say
That's
what
their
they-
thoughts. Yeah,
And you want your check.
those are their thoughts and their beliefs. No question.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want your
But
check. I feel
It's a fine line between business and
Personal
standing up
preference.
what you
Yeah,
believe in.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even with the taking the knee thing,
Damn, he got it.
that's
Go ahead. I was just
I have a
that-
question for you, but you answer
yeah,
it.
that took off in the NFL, and what people fail to realize, it wasn't about being disrespectful to, you know what I mean, the people that serve. It
Mhm.
wasn't about that. It was about bringing light to a situation that was going on in America,
Mhm.
and I feel like it served its purpose. I'm not going to say it was the best way to go
Yeah.
about it, but it served its purpose. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It got conversation started.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're probably privy to a lot of conversations that we're not, because you've been in a NFL locker room.
Mhm.
What type of scrutiny, what type of pressure did a lot of your former teammates deal with in terms of, should I take a knee? Should I not? Because coming from Massachusetts,
Mhm.
you know, New England is basically an extension of the South.
No doubt.
When they abolished slavery, Merrill Lynch,
Mhm.
all these financial institutions, they closed up shop down there
Mhm.
and went up north. So what type of pressure did some of your former teammates have to deal with, coming to terms with thinking, am I going to take a knee?
Right.
Am I going to put my hand on my heart? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Did Bob Kraft put pressure on players not to take a knee? You probably know that
Like
better than we would.
I'm in a group chat. It's me, the McCourty twins, his boy Courtney Green, Ron Giroux, who played safety at Rutgers,
Mhm.
played in the league for a quick bit. My boy D Jones played in the league like 5-6 years, and my cousin Project Pat. And
Not the rapper.
nah. And that was the question. Was like, yo, like what y'all gonna do? You know what I mean, when stuff was hitting the fan.
Yeah.
And man, just as people, man, I love them boys, because they were like, yo, we taking a knee. Like both the McCourtys did, and then after that, they ended up raising their fist.
I
you know what I'm
remember
saying?
that, yeah.
So it was like, even though it was a conflict of interest, they were like, yo, we're going to stand up for our people and make sure the message get heard.
Mhm.
So it was dope to even know that before it went down. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool.
Little inside scoop. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Gabi, you had a question, right? All right.
I might have did, but I might have forgot, but I'm gonna get back to it when I remember.
So one more thing, right?
Yep.
So what are your thoughts in terms of how you view Colin Kaepernick and the stance and the risk that he
That
took?
was my question, actually.
now you remember. Okay.
Man, to know that he put his career on the line for other people, man, that's dope, man, because you don't find a lot of cats that are Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm giving up all this bread,
Mm-hmm.
all this notoriety, fame, a game that I love for the voices of other people.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope, man. Like a lot of people, he got a lot of scrutiny,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like this dude he's gonna go down in history as an activist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he started conversations that needed to be brought up, especially with the president that we currently have.
Mm-hmm. Number 45.
It's not easy. It's not easy. So,
President, I didn't even know we still had a president in the United States.
but I definitely respect Colin and what he stands for, man.
Another thing. So, Roger Goodell. As an owner.
Hey, I'm down, man.
Okay.
Fuck Roger Goodell.
Okay.
I needed to make sure because I'm not trying to jeopardize nobody's career, only mine. Because I don't give a fuck about Roger Goodell.
So Roger Goodell, he's come against a lot of scrutiny for how he's handled the whole domestic violence controversy in the NFL. Punishments have not been aligned across the board. What is your take on him as a commissioner?
Man, I will say he has a tough job, but as a former player, it can be seen as he's down with the owners versus the players. You know what I'm saying?
But he's down with Jerry Jones, though.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, in case you get a call, edit that. But go ahead.
But that's with him, man. That's just tough. And me being so close to his man's Ray Rice, like going to school with him, knowing him as a person, him and Courtney are like basically like brothers. You know what I mean? So I feel like if Roger would have gave him the correct punishment, that he would have played after that,
or not jump the gun after the tape.
Yeah, because
resurfaced.
The punishment was 2 games, 2 to 4, something small. And once the tape came out, it was like, yo, how you give him?
He caved into public pressure.
Yeah. But if it was handled correctly the first time, all that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bypassing what happened because it, you know what I mean, that
It
video,
was wrong.
no doubt.
But at the end of the day, listen, I'm Dominican, and at the end of the day, there's a saying called "Tú no te metes en marido y mujer, en hombre y mujer," which means you don't get in married couples' relationships. Like, she's gonna go back to him. So us getting in a relationship don't make no sense. I feel that he's in the NFL, but I think a suspension would have been good.
Yeah.
And then let him get back on the field. Because at the end of the day, they're going to get back together. They had a kid after. So at the end of the day, why is it our business to get in that?
Right.
You feel me? So I feel like he should still be in the NFL because he was nice.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt about it. Numbers show, everything. He got a ring, right?
Yep.
My man got a ring. Everything shows. Suspend him for a year if you want to suspend him for a year.
Yeah.
But don't blackball him out the league because you can't blackball people that actually know how to play. And I think that's a problem. It happened with Chad Ochocinco. I feel like he got blackballed out the league after a while. And it happened with Terrell Owens. I feel like he got blackballed out the league. And Michael Vick got lucky.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
Mike Vick got lucky.
And that was for dogs.
Another black man, that ain't happening. Another minority, that ain't happening. I know I probably threw the conversation straight off, but
I would just say that me personally, like Ray Rice, all I can say is that he a good dude, man.
Yep.
That's all I'll say, man. He a good dude.
And the best thing about it, though, the fact that he's going around to teams, to schools, speaking about it. You know what I mean? Speaking about that
sharing
topic.
his story.
Exactly, man.
Exactly.
That shows growth. You know what I mean? That's major, man. Helping people learn from his mistakes.
Exactly.
Which is dope.
I had another NFL question, right? So, the type of damage you guys put on your body.
Concussion, we was talking about that.
How do you feel about players not being given guaranteed contracts? And you guys put yourselves at risk more than any of the other 4 major sports. I understand it's high risk for injury, but at the same time, to sign a guy on Monday and then Wednesday you tell him take a pay cut or you're cutting.
Right.
Like, to me, that's not fair. What do you think some of you guys can put together in order to fight that type of current structure?
It's going to come down to the next CBA. You know what I mean? Guys got to
Collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, they got to be united and stand together. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Because you know the owners, they gonna stand firm, but we got to do the same thing as players. Because like you said, baseball, basketball, hockey, man. Number one, the bread that they're getting, and to know that you and your family, they're getting that bread.
Mm-hmm.
No matter cut, guaranteed. No matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, football is so physical, and the lifespan isn't long.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely believe it should be guaranteed contracts in the NFL.
Do you think players may have?
Go ahead.
Do you think players may have to get to a point where they go on strike to get a fair collective bargaining
I think
agreement?
the owners wouldn't even care.
Because I was part of the last CBA when we had the little holdout type of deal, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to think everybody's not a millionaire in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got young cats that are like, I'm not holding out, I'm ready to play. I
Yeah.
need this check.
Yeah.
The owners, they're good.
Mhm.
They can stand firm,
Yeah.
but we can only go but so long.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So if we were going to do it, I think stuff will have to be in place just to help younger guys that don't have a bag, you know what I'm saying, just so they could, from day-to-day bills, help
Take
them.
care of their families,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And the OGs will have to get involved.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
only way that the
Listen,
NFL will listen.
Mm-hmm.
If Tom Brady, Drew Brees, imagine they get involved.
Mhm.
They're not gonna say no to Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
But it's kind of quiet because they quarterback. They're already making the big bucks. They settled.
Yeah, but if they, I mean, listen, they grew
That's
up the
kinda
way they
tough.
grew up. But if it was a minority in that position, I feel like they wouldn't. Cam Newton don't speak up too much because they be trying to play Cam Newton a lot.
Speaking of that, was my question that I was trying to ask
Cam
you.
Newton don't got no
In
voice.
regards to Cam, so you played with Tom Brady.
Yep.
Now you play with Cam Newton. How is that experience? You know, how does Cam Newton go about his work?
It's just different when you can relate, right?
I would say one of the most freakish athletes I've ever come across, bro. Size, can throw the ball, can run, and just has a presence about him, you know what I'm saying, that affects a lot of people. Like, you see it when he's going, he's playing confident, his team, the whole team feeds off of that, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up getting released from Carolina in camp, so I didn't even play a full season with them.
Mhm.
It just was the off season and preseason. But just to see how talented he was, man, the one thing I would want to see personally is, okay, now take that, and I was with Brady, I was with Cam. Now, can he, once his talent start to diminish, can you get the physical part of the game? You know what I'm saying? How Brady out there, okay,
The
two
mental
come,
aspect,
yeah,
the mental aspect.
Then he gets hit.
Reading everything.
You know what I mean?
Now, so you spoke about, being released. Now, I wanted to ask you, so you played with the Patriots, right? Practice with them, games with them.
All season.
All season.
Hyped.
In the locker room, all that good stuff. And you guys win, going to the, finals, to the Super Bowl. And the day before the game, am I right? Or the week before?
It was a media day.
After media day, they released you.
Bill Belichick ain't shit, dude.
So I want to ask you, man, like, how the fuck did you feel? That's fucked up in my part, but
I mean, your natural reaction, you know
Fuck
what I'm
you.
saying? You're gonna be upset. But what people don't realize, they see Bill on TV. He real dry with the media. He don't give you much. When he's with that team, buddy got personality, bro.
really?
And he's real. Like, you don't get that from many coaches at any level.
And that's why a lot of people don't like him.
Like, he's real. He was like, look, I got to bring a D lineman up for the game from the practice squad. When we win, you'll get the Super Bowl ring, you'll get the bread, and I'm going to sign you after the game. Kept his word on everything. Obviously, we didn't win the bowl, so I got an AFC championship ring, but just to know that he kept his word, bro. You don't get that in that business a lot, and that's why players love playing for him. It ain't for everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody can't fit that system up there, but if you could take it, man, he's one of the. It's a reason why he's so successful, man. He's real.
Okay, whatever.
So, with all that being said, why you think Belichick and Brady right now, they've been seeing eye to eye all these years.
But
they're
a little shaky.
I feel like time, like everything could be good for the first 5 years, you know, and with time, it start diminishing. You feel me? Tom Brady getting old at the end of the day. But at the same time, Tom Brady's numbers, them shits is staying the motherfucking same. Like, Tom Brady's numbers don't change. Yeah. So if you was the GM, let me put you in the GM position, and you had to pick Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. 42 years old, at least 5, 6, 7, 8 more years in the league with the coach. Because he still got time to coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I
mean, he good.
Nigga, you always got time to coach.
You feel me? What you gonna do, you Robert Kraft or the GM? But isn't Robert Kraft the GM?
No, Bill is. Bill Belichick is the GM.
All right, so if you was Bill, damn, so I really can't even ask you that question, my boy.
Straight up.
Yo, don't put my man.
Yo, forget it. I can't even ask. Yeah, I can't even.
Jennings, go, Jennings.
Man,
So
you just shut me down without even having to shut me down.
They released you during media day.
Yeah,
right?
after the team picture, take pictures with your family.
That's when you lost to the Giants.
They let me, the second time. Like, they let me do all that with my fam, which was dope, and then it was after that.
So, how did you feel when you saw them bench Malcolm Butler for the Super Bowl that just passed?
Personally, I didn't understand why, just because who they were playing. You know what I mean? Philly's offense was rolling at that point, and he was one of the better DBs that they had.
Now, he played 98% of the snaps.
Yeah, so
he was one of the better
I don't know,
DBs in the league.
No doubt. I don't know if something happened in-house or what the reasoning was, but I know he said they felt like they had a better chance of winning putting another kid out there, but that's tough, man. Unless you in that locker room, you don't know what really went down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the kid won a championship for you. Like, a championship that nobody thought y'all was gonna win.
Yeah.
Like, y'all was done.
Get the ball to beast mode.
Yeah, like all they had to do was give the ball to Marshawn Lynch, and the game was completely over. And you gonna bench him on another Super Bowl? I just think that's straight disrespect. And I feel that if it was a white cornerback, he would have not got benched. And that's a fact.
One thing about Bill, man, he's willing to make the decisions that nobody else is. Like, I remember they played the Colts.
That was a badass decision.
And they went for it on fourth on their side of the field, and everybody's like, "What the hell is he doing?" But he get paid the big bucks. Yeah, you know what I mean.
He'll roll the dice.
Everybody not willing to do what he willing to do. Even with players, he'll let players. He'll trade you just so he gets something for you. Like, and you got to think about it. If you were a coach, a GM,
listen.
Are you gonna let LeBron walk, or are you gonna trade Paul George and get a piece, get Oladipo? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it from their vantage point, which I totally get now, being a coach.
So now,
that's a great segue.
So you had you had some time in the NFL, but you also played in the CFL, you know, the Canadian Football League. How was that? You know, and is the game totally, you know, different from, you know, NFL? You know, did you have a tough time like adjusting to it? You know, did it take you some time, or
it was definitely.
It was a smooth transition.
Definitely an adjustment. The ball is bigger, the field is a bit wider and longer. They play with 12 people on the field instead of 11. So
they hit harder too, right?
Nah.
XFL, my fault.
Yeah.
Yo, and not that XFL.
No disrespect to the CFL, because there's some ballers up there, man. But they only let a certain amount of Americans on the field, which is kind of weak. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's called the Canadian Football League, but let the best players play.
Oh, they kind of do it also. I didn't know. They kind of did it like with basketball and overseas.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't think...
In China, you only allowed one American. You allow 2 Americans on the team, 1
Yeah,
American
yeah.
on the court.
But they're allowed a certain amount of Americans, but all them Americans don't play. In basketball overseas, most of the Americans play that's on the team.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like, let's just say like for China, that's what I just said. In China, you're allowed 2 Americans, but 2 Americans cannot be on the court at the same time. At least 1 American on the court.
That's crazy though. That,
I know.
What's the point of that then?
Because you got to think about where the league is at. They still got to show love to their people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's why they're so quick to
Otherwise, it would just be a
send your ass out when you're
NBA.
yeah, or NFL Junior, NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
So
You're right.
I get it, but it was a dope experience. More for my family. You know what I mean? My daughters, my wife got to go to a different country.
Did they enjoy it? I was 30 minutes away from Canada, man. Canada's dope.
Yeah.
Carabana. We'll talk about that off camera.
I don't know what that is. In DR, they don't have those.
Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Carabana.
No, I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is?
No, I do
Okay,
not know what that
okay.
is. Never been there, never heard of it. I don't know none of that bullshit.
None of that bullshit. Jesus Christ, man. All right, so finished playing in the NFL and the CFL, and want to say congrats, man, on getting that Lafayette, wide receiver coaching position,
How you like that?
Yeah, like what made you? Yeah, like what made you like say? Cause to me, it don't look like you like out of shape, or it don't look like you can't go out there put some pads, and catch some shit.
Right.
So like
I'll
what made
still
you?
leave you in the dust though, but you my man though, you feel me? You my guy. That nigga will eat me alive,
Go ahead, Chad.
I just want to give a pause. My fault. I'm talking wild doodle right now. If we go outside right now, I'll be in 177. He'll be already in 170 already.
Alright, so
My fault. My straight up track, my fault, but we here.
the money's right there. We here, alright?
Bars.
Yeah. So how you came down to that? Like, what made you say like, all right, let me just transition into coaching? Or is it something that you always wanted to do?
Mortgage.
It was something I thought about. Like when I was playing, I went to a coaches convention in San Antonio, and just wanted to see what that was all about. And that was a cool experience. But I didn't know that this was something I wanted to do. And then, man, I get a call from my old receiver coach in Tampa that they had an opening. And at the time, I was just shooting my resume out to people, just letting them know that I wanted to start coaching. Because once I finished in Canada, I was like, man,
You didn't want to do it again?
It's NFL or nothing.
I can't
Like,
live
I'm
this
not going
life.
back up. It was too much traveling.
And it's not the same as basketball either.
You know what I'm
Football
saying?
overseas is not the same as basketball. You feel me?
The bread,
It's
yeah.
not. It's just not the
You
same.
played overseas football?
No, but we got friends. We got friends that play overseas.
I don't got friends that play overseas football.
No, but is you could tell it ain't the same though, bro. Like
I don't know. I
you
don't know.
could tell because it's not as many football teams overseas as basketball. In Europe,
How
you
many-
might have American football in one country in Europe. The rest is soccer and basketball. You don't have a lot of stuff in Europe. Canada might be one of the only 3 countries with football, if I'm not mistaken. I know Russia might have a football league because I
I
know
don't even know.
they play football in Russia, American
Okay.
football.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, so there's only like 3 countries with it, so it's not the same as basketball, where in basketball you go anywhere, you make 30, 40, 50, 60,000, and you ain't wasting nothing because you ain't paying no rent.
Not all.
That's a good pickup.
So you grab that. You take whatever you can in basketball. But in football, it's hard, yo, to be in any state. I don't know what they got to do with what we're talking about.
Nothing at all,
But-
my man. Straight basura, my man. That was haraka talk.
I know it was.
We're not gonna get into that.
But
We gonna edit
to
that
answer you
though.
though, I was working out after the season, and I was like, yo, it's NFL or nothing. Like, and then as I was working out, like we go so hard in the off season, and I was waking up like, yo, I can't do this no more. Like my body,
It's taking a toll on
just
your body.
mentally, man. I'm like, I don't have it no more. You know what I mean? That fire. So I was like, you know what? It's time to figure out what's next. And then fell into coaching, man. It was a blessing that Lafayette had an opening at the receiver position. Knew the head man, interviewed, knocked it out of the park, and here we are.
That's dope, man. Congrats on that, man.
Appreciate
Congrats.
it.
Now, do you feel like your experience, being, not heavily recruited, you think that'll, what's what I'm trying to say? You think you will have the eye to like pull out a gem like you? Feel me? Like you think like you'll have like you think you could scope that out?
My man waiting for a son to scope that out.
You know?
That's what he waiting for, boy.
Straight up.
My man waiting for that little boy so he can have him as soon as he come out the stomach, like this with a football like this. That's gonna be the first picture of Shorty Doo-Wop. Like, Daddy, we about to catch these balls and we getting out the hood. Pause. Pause. Damn, every time I say some more shit, the bell rings, man.
In the words of my man Noriega, you gotta relax.
My bad.
You gotta relax.
Is that I'm saying something good?
You gotta relax.
But it's just.
You sounding like Kanye right now.
Yeah, the word.
you
Nah,
sound
never
like
like
Kanye.
Kanye. Wow, never like Kanye. God forbid I ever sound like Kanye, my brother.
Right now.
Shout out to my black and Dominicans.
So yeah, like, do you feel like that's gonna help you, like, land recruits, because you might be able to get that, like, kind of like diamond in the bed type player?
Definitely looking for it at the level we're at, Patriot League. You know what I mean? We're not going to get the 5-star guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of do got to find a diamond in the rough kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's different for us because our academic requirement is so high. You're looking at 1100 SAT. 3.0, 3.2, we could work with a 3.0. Like,
Could work with a 3.0.
I probably couldn't even go to the school that I'm coaching at. I'm gonna keep it real.
And I'm gonna keep it real. I got the 750 on my SATs. I don't even know if that's good or bad, but that's what I got.
You get 200 for your name up there.
All right, but I got the college degree though, so we good out here. You feel me?
counts.
Cheated my life through college. Every midterm, every final was cheated on, but I
Nigga
passed.
said he got a 700
3.4
SATs.
with a
That's crazy.
3.4 cheated, but I made it. Mama, I made it.
That's crazy. I got 1100 on that bitch. That's crazy.
Nah, I ain't got nowhere near 1100. I didn't even know you could get a 1100. I thought it was 1,000.
Is that a 1600? What the fuck you was talking about?
I got a 990, baby.
You said you got a 700.
Nah, 990, dog. I'm not that
So
stupid.
you said you got a 750.
Nah, I'm like halfway stupid, not all the way stupid.
I don't know about halfway. I think you're full.
I got a degree though, so I'm good. I go anywhere and I show my little card that I got, and we good. The bell is ringing, and that means shut the fuck up.
So now you guys, I know you guys are getting ready for spring ball.
Oh, just
You
finished.
just finished.
Yeah.
How was that?
Man, that was a dope experience, man. To be coaching them kids. And it was my first time coaching. You know what I'm saying?
You was nervous and shit.
Nah.
You was trying to be cool with the kids. Or
Nah.
You was trying to be a dick.
See,
Or you
it's-
was trying to
You know you hip,
Honestly,
and you young.
that's the thing. You said trying. Some people, coaches, like try to be dicks.
You don't gotta
Some
try.
coaches try to be cool. I just was being me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that the players respected that, and they played well, man. We had no drops in the spring game, 2 touchdowns. I'm just trying to help these boys ball, man. That's it.
Does being young have an advantage in coaching?
Absolutely. But it's
And also playing in the league.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And-
Because you've been where they're trying to go.
Exactly. But I will say it's an advantage being older and having experience as well. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's pros and cons both ways.
Perspective.
But
You're not young, but you're not old.
Yeah.
But they'll listen to you because you're close to their age.
Right.
But the OGs will listen to you too because you've been in the game for a good amount of time.
So whatever pro you have, whether it's a lot of experience or you just whatever it is, you got to use that pro to relate to the kids. You know what I mean?
And now listen, well, before you ask, I got a very important question. Now this is like the most important question in the whole show. Now, you see these little bullshits right here, right? I want to know, how the fuck can I get to that right there, baby? Because I need some more hair over here. You want to donate? I got a barber shop right next door. We cut it off. We put this shit back on, baby.
And you actually like you had your whole NFL career.
This
like that,
nigga
right?
just killed my shit.
After my rookie year, I grew it out.
Wait, yo,
Violation.
hold on. Can we take a break?
Nah.
Ring that bell.
It's almost done.
Ring that bell.
We almost done.
I got to use the bathroom.
Just hold it. How old are you, yo? How old are you?
Yeah, let him go use the bathroom.
Yo, bro, it's like 2 more minutes left.
You dead ass.
We got like the most 5.
All right, so go. Let's do this.
You want me to get your diaper real quick?
So,
I mean, that's gonna
I have
take more
one
time
question.
than me peeing.
Oh no, he gotta answer the. You know how he
Oh,
kept
you
it
got-
fresh.
you
You gotta
gotta
answer your
answer the
question.
Oh, I wanna know.
And then Jennings.
I wanna know. You know, if I could get that right there, like you got any hair products in mind, or
Bruh.
you just, or it's just in the family, like.
Yeah, this straight genetics.
Yo, I'm
man.
only
'Cause
29
you
years old,
started,
my man, and look at my joint. Look, my barber leaves extra hair. Look, but look, if I pull
He
it
looking
up,
out for you.
yeah, if I pull it up, nigga, I'm straight bald,
This nigga almost
Yo,
human
but
being.
if I put it down,
Yo, show us that
I
forehead.
see you.
we
I
back,
see you.
boy.
I see you.
Look, if I put it up,
Yeah.
I'm bald. You feel me? But if I put it down, we good, nigga. My hairline is back like Jordan wearing the 4-5, and it ain't to play games with you. It's to aim at you.
yeah. So, one question about the hair. Are you familiar with Shock G?
Shock G.
Digital Underground?
Okay, there we go.
He used
No
to have the
doubt,
high
no doubt,
top.
no doubt.
Kid and Play.
Got you. Yes, sir.
So did you look at them as an inspiration for the high top, or?
Bro, it started as a joke, man.
Okay.
Like, they were like, yo, you won't grow it out and do that. Grew it out, got the cut. Ever since then, it just stuck.
Kind of like became like your James Harden beard.
Straight up. Straight, because Harden looks crazy without the beard.
Nah. I seen it when he was at Arizona.
Google it, crazy.
Hey,
Yo, Google it.
Boy, boy.
That ass?
He's paid. God bless him.
During
Yes,
your
boy.
playing career, did a hair care product company ever
Actually,
try to do a
nah.
branding deal with you?
I thought it would have, but you know what I mean, with that type of stuff, you got to ball first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I never really got to that level
Mhm.
of balling for that to materialize, but it is what it is.
I got a coaching question for you. Well, 2, and then I'm done. Do you have a kid now that you think has pro potential,
Mhm.
a wide receiver?
Or it's too
Pro,
early to-
pro potential. I got a kid, Nick Pearson. He used to play DB. He play receiver now.
Mm-hmm.
He could run. He could ball. He gonna make some plays for us this year. Size may be an issue,
Okay.
but I see him being. He's a junior. I see him having a big year. So we'll see what comes of it from there.
Okay. And where do you see yourself in terms of a coach? Do you eventually want to be a head coach, offensive coordinator, college, pro level?
Yeah.
And I'll wrap it up.
For me, man, I say the dream, definitely head coach. Like, why get into it and not try to climb to the top?
Yeah.
So, head coach, and I'm gonna go NFL, man. You could coach in that league. You one of 32 coaches
Mhm.
in the whole world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's you're a position coach, head man, OC,
Okay.
like that's the top of the top. So,
Okay.
just like I did going from Notre Dame High School to the league, I'm on the same path. I got to get back to the top.
Okay.
So now, to wrap things up, I wanted to ask you, what would you like, based on everything that you've gone through, you know, what you experienced, you know, what's the message, you know, that you would tell, you know, up and coming, you know, football players, you know, wide receivers, you know, or athletes, you know, like, what would you tell them about, you know, about the process, you know,
Yeah.
about the journey of it?
Number one, I would say embrace the journey, like enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It's a fun ride, man, and it goes by fast. But at the same time, like we live in this era where Twitter, Instagram, like technology is crazy. All I would say is just like stay focused. You know what I mean? Don't lose sight over all the people partying. Yeah, you know what I mean? The outside, like you said, noise. Just continue to grind. Like for me, I know I got where I got just strictly off my grind. Like cats was going to the movies, I was at the crib sleeping. Then my uncle waking us up before school, having us run around the park, take a shower, eat breakfast, then go to school. You know what I'm saying? It's the stuff that people don't know about, people don't see. You feel me? My sophomore year, was horrible to my standard. That whole summer, I went stupid, went hard, bruh. Came out the gates junior year balling. But like every time something good happened, it was because of the work I was put in. So I would tell these young cats, just grind, man. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. Just keep grinding. And if they do say you can't do it, just use it as fuel.
That's motivation, right? So, Gabby, do you have anything to say?
I don't got no more to say. I think I spoke my piece. And I just got one thing to say, though, I think.
You just said you don't have anything to say.
But I got one. And that is, shout out to the Cavs up 15 game 3. They're about to sweep these bum-ass Raptors. Shout out to my man, Allen Ray's man, Kyle Lowry. He ain't doing the Daniels, but hey, Ray, I love you. Shout out to my man, came through, NFL, got rings and things and bling.
Jennings?
Yo, I appreciate the conversation.
Oh, no doubt.
Me too, my brother.
Yes, man.
The laughs. I'm the laugh guy.
Seriously, because like I was telling Drew, man, and shout outs to Drew.
Shout out to Fame NYC, my man Drewski.
No doubt.
And not the white DJ from Hot 97.
Jesus Lord. Like I was telling him, man, like you have an underdog, story, and I think those are the stories that a lot of people need to hear because everybody just focus on the number ones. You feel me?
Right.
A lot of people don't focus on those that really like put the time in, And I was telling him like I actually had that tattoo, Underdog. So I said like it's dope like to have him. So I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule.
2 kids.
Yes.
I know how hard that is. Listen, I know how hard that is, my brother.
Gabby has 4.
I do not have 4 because if my baby mom's here, that I got 4 and there's only 2 with her, and we're gonna have a problem. I only have 2 kids, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no 4, baby. Ain't no 4. I love you. In my heart.
So man, and also man, congrats man. In your new journey in life, man. I hope everything works out, man, and I'm pretty sure that the kids are really gonna vibe with you and like really listen to you because you've been through where they trying to go. So it was only right, man. So again, man, this is the Hey Now podcast, man, episode 5 with T Underwood. Pause Gabby's dance, man. Fame NYC, Washington Heights, man. Shout out to Drew.
Good job, Joey. Like this shit. I like this shit. CJ, one CJ. Good route, good route. I see you try. Hey, every day, be great, boy.
Hype me right now. Hey, I'm spitting shit. I got the clips. Ain't no sucking dick. I got the chips.
Whoa.
I said ain't no sucking dick, bro. Ain't.
Walked into that right there?
Hey, yo, they pausing me.
Ain't no sucking dick.
Hey, yo, they stalking me. But I hit them with the 32. Like pornography.
You got a dope energy, bro.
Yeah.
Hey.
Vibe to him like he's a good dude.
Let me see the feeds. Yeah. Who is that? That's Joel Santana.
Hey, it's Dipset, 99. 40th and Lennox. That's where their guns play.
When he used to play in Tampa, when he played in Tampa.
What is it?
We gotta make Kanye West great again, my nigga. Listen, I don't really care for Kanye West, but people care about the nigga. So, it's only right that since everybody else cares about West, it's only right that we make him great again.
I got a whole selection.
Because I guess that the whole collection, got a whole selection of the whole collection. And I'm still pimping, still dipping. Y'all some dead motherfuckers. Shout to the city blocks. Hey!
She's a good one, bro.